Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawashai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawashai, Brakataya Hawa, Brakataya Hawashai, Kohalayim La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who well, and salutations to the hopeful that brothers out there pushing this truth. This is the brother Lahab coming to you with another lesson. Um, and I was going to use another article because they've been talking about this, and brothers also especially been talking about this before it's been like in the mainstream news. On how they want to denaturalize U.S. citizens. All right. So although they're presenting this face, this was another one where it was actually a Jake. She's a Jake, but what I mean is Southern Kingdom guy. So-called black-looking guy. Because that's another thing is that Southern Kingdom thinking because they've been here so long being oppressed that means that they're not gonna suffer like their brothers. Which this woman she's still our sister. According to the flesh. You know, so we're suffering with them. That's what the scripture says. All right, that the house of Judah and the house of Israel were oppressed together. As a matter of fact, let me grab that. Slocky. This is Isaiah, not Isaiah, Jeremiah 50 and 33. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captains held them fast, and they refused to let them go." Which is funny because I had not too long ago watched that episode of South Park. And South Park was during that time, it was like years ago, but it's when the economy was doing bad. They didn't really want Northern Kingdom to leave, and now, even now, you can see that certain areas in Mexico are more thriving. That even certain people are defecting from the U.S. and moving there. All right, but it's a simple fact that, and that's just one tribe. But going to what the scripture says is that he doesn't want to let us go. All right, he may say go back to your country, but if you ever know how sales work, or when someone, what did he use, negging? The old school term used to be called reverse psychology, and Esau uses that. All right, go back to your dirt hole country. All right, we don't want you. He knows how people are, man. That's the reason why people will fight to, build on this broken reed, because you know what? America is the broken reed. All right, we normally would use that scripture in Isaiah, to talk about the seed here, but the broken reed is really something that's not dependable. All right, and it's gonna bite you and f you over in the end. But at the same time, this man is still gonna be piercing hands, physically and literally. All right, but this is the time where our people have gone through the same situation together. All right, because we are the same people. All right, we went through it in the past. You know, First, it was always Northern Kingdom, and then it'd be Southern Kingdom. Northern Kingdom gets it first, and Southern Kingdom gets it the worst. But now, we've been in Babylon suffering together. We both in this predicament, man. All right, I'll read that again. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel, meaning the so-called Latinos, and the children of Judah, so-called Negroes, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, because we're a prophet. They make money off of us. Even this whole little thing that they doing, man. All right, because he he's not gonna do this to all Jake, but at the same time, this is still a part of him taking Jake captive because they don't automatically just deport you. Deporting is really isn't a bad thing, all right? He's arresting you because where's he gonna send natural born citizens? He's gonna send you to a concentration camp. All right. But let's read this on Doce. Doce Consuela Diaz Morales remains under ICE surveillance. So that's where she's at. Because where I mean, they could send her back to where her parents were born, but she's a natural born citizen. All right. Despite being released from detention, as her lawyers worry her case could set a dangerous precedent for other U.S. citizens if not dismissed. And it is. Because Trump been saying that. Well, technically, I have the power to even do this to even you natural borns because this whole T situation is what they keep on trying to label. They're quietly labeling U.S. citizens T's, man. All right, T's about to illegally and irrationally burn up some degrees. How I would put that term so somebody can understand where I'm coming from while I'm pulling these teeth. That we describe a T is a irrational person that runs against the government without me trying to say the word. But that is what this candidacy, not just this one, but all of the government, the U.S. government, through the elites, and even these other nations, they're trying to label their citizens T's, all right, as a way to bring about um, this martial law by saying that there's an insurrection. But guess what? We already understand this insurrection is going to come by the hands, just like what they say. Uh, oh, it's going to go down, but it won't be me that's going to drop the bombs, man. And I'm talking about that show, Fallout. Which, if you watch Fallout, it was E. All right. So we can get to Revelation 12, because this is why this is going to happen. All right. This is Revelation 12 and 12. It says, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time." So he already know what time it is, all right? He knows that the Most High is coming for him, all right? So what he's gonna do? He's gonna make it look like we're the bad guys. He's gonna throw all that on us, right? As a way of bringing about his policy. So like this is not even what I meant to get for. I meant to get this in Daniel. This is Daniel chapter 8 and verse 25. "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand." As a matter of fact, let me read this in the blue letter so I can get some terms. Daniel 8 and 25. "And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand against the prince of princes, and but shall be broken without hand." Which that, uh, this is originally talking about, and that's the reason why when we read this whole verse, that's the reason why we break it down that way, because it's the truth. Originally, this was talking about Antiochus, but at the same time, this is also labeled towards, because yeah, futurism exists in the scriptures. Something that could be for that time was ultimately for this time. All right, so this does line up with today's times because hey, when the Lord does come back, He is gonna break this man without hand. It says he lifted out he lifted up neither buckler nor shield or sword. You know, it's gonna be that fire. All right, I will not meet thee as a man. So that still is hey, this whole scripture still breaks that down. But at the same time, in the midst of this time, he's also going to be causing his craft to prosper, which is to get the control of the whole earth. Because hey, he has had pretty much the predominant control of the whole earth, but he hasn't invaded and had sole power over all lands. And that's what he really wants. But the way that he wants it, it's far different than how the Lord is going to grant it to us. This man really just he wants to run these people into the ground, right? And it talks about that in the book of Isaiah. All right, he that smote the people with a continual stroke. All right, you know, this devil is coming down with great wrath. All right, and yeah, he's gonna unleash it on the tribes, but he's also gonna unleash it on you heathens, man. All right, yeah, Consuelo's going through it too. You Negroes about to, because everybody needs a humbling. All right, everybody needs a humbling, including this devil. But right now, this devil, he's in high business. Like I actually meant to get that word that I was calling for before I just started hopping around. Uh, his policy. Should call. Oh, his agenda, his prudence, his insight, his understanding, his sense, his craft. All right. Bad sense in this term, his should call, his prudence is a bad sense. All right. Because it's this NWO. All right. This devil is he's trying to present his NWO because he wants sole control, man. He wants full power. But the Most High is only going to let him get so far, going back into that Revelation, going back into the Job. All right? This is the time where it ends, but we understand that these things must come to pass, all right? That we have to suffer, before that happens because it's suffering that's about to come onto the whole earth, all right? But first it's going to come unto us. First Peter 4 and 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Meaning, because Jacob's going through it during that time. Brothers were being put to death, is what the apostle was warning in the scripture. All right. As well as, we were facing tribulation. All right. But ultimately, Jake was really, hey, Jake was suffering unto blood. All right. Likewise is Yahushua. All right. It says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, in which we experience that even right now. All right. And if it first began at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Not very well. Their end is not going to be very well, man. All right. As a matter of fact, this is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 16. It says, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. For though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. And this is talking about this generation. All right. That's the reason Yahweh coined this generation the adulterous generation, man. All right. You perversing the adulterous generation. This is that same generation coming back. All right. Well, if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial. All right. Because when the day of trial means when you're being tested. And the ultimate test is before your death. But also, the world's test is going to be the sea hip and everything that's about to come down, man. All right. So in those times, 2/3 of our people, the heathen especially, they're not going to have comfort because they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to understand that we have to suffer for these things and go through these things, and we can't take that, we can't take this, and we're going to go down. All right. They had, well, I was going to say it. For horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation, so they have no hope. These shall die having no hope. All right. So that's what we're practicing for. That's the reason why, because we're hoping that the Most High in that time is going to keep us from the hour of temptation. All right. This is Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, meaning the belief, the ways of Yahweh Shai, understanding this is how he gets down. You know what he likes. All right. As a wife knows what her husband likes to eat. All right. As a child knows how to please his father so that he doesn't get a spanking and get disciplined to understand the right way. We're understanding the right way of Yahweh Shem Shai and trying to perform that as best we can. All right. And Lord's will, he sees us as bashful children, even if this kid, he done left behind a few crumbs, he's trying his best to clean this kitchen floor, man. The Lord sees us trying. All right. You know, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So that's also when we preach about pride. We preach about, you're thinking you know it all, how you feel. People who haven't understood the levels of pride. It's so many. And the reason why I say it like that is because we're praying to the Lord to keep us from that. In His word, they say, "Oh, you feel like everything controls you. You don't take no responsibility." Yeah, we take. It's really all of that. You take responsibility for the things that you've done, but you also try and you pray for strength. All right. People just don't understand that because they don't want to believe that there's something outside of themselves. All right. Ultimately, the Most High didn't give it to them because faith is a gift, but this is also a gift. The Most High is going to keep us from the hour of temptation. I'm going to read it again. Revelation 3:10 says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience." All right, because this is a patient thing. Meaning, you have to lock this down that this is life. All right. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right. So everybody's going to get tested. It says this is going to mess with everybody's mind. But the Most High is going to give his strength unto men that he deems worthy to not have that. Even if they do get tried, they're not going to give in. Even if they do get tempted, they're not going to give in. Because it says that the Lord was at all points vexed. He was tempted. So it doesn't mean that they won't be tempted, but they're not going to take it. All right? Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. And this is a part of our crown. This is you just signing up for your crown. All right? You're not trying to give it to the next man. It's lucky the video took a little bit of a spin, but it wasn't really about her. As a simple fact, the Lord's about to bring this to these states through this man. Hey, I hope this man does stay in office. All right, the way it's looking, he might not get impeached. He's on a war criminal path. It depends on how the Lord wants it to be, because the elites could even he might put it in the hearts of the elites to say, "No, keep on going," or he might be like, "No, die it down so we can do this." But they don't have a whole lot of time, so it's not really looking like that. But they could, you know, they could. We know that this place doesn't have too much time. We know that the estimate of even these heathens say the empire is gonna last more than 250 years. All right, but we know what's gonna lead up to that. It's really these prophecies that digital awe, man. All right, that digital awe. Once they put that inside of people, that's really gonna be it, and they have it inside of people. But once the currency solely goes into a digital system that switches from this dollar system, because we have a dollar system, we have a digital system based off a dollar system. Once they crash that and they present a digital system, that's when we're going to see a difference. That's when you're going to see these wars start to amp up and these austerity measures in these streets along, as well as the craziness amongst these people and the more lewdness, and then also the more spirituality on the left hand and the right. There's going to be some things that's going to be going down. All right. Because what's coming to pass is the will of the Lord. And you're gonna see more stuff like, where's this woman at? This woman right here getting locked up. All right? She was living her best life before that happened. And that's why another thing with you people like the protests, you go down there and protest and expect not to get locked up, that's crazy. Y'all don't have the protection of the Lord. But nonetheless, the Most High got you doing that, man. All right? Likewise, all these events that are about to happen, it says, many offenses must come into the world, for war to him unto whom the offense cometh. I'm gonna grab this and get up out of here. This is Matthew 18 and 7. It says, war to, shoot. This is Matthew 18 and 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. All right, because we got to be able to take these different blows. And to do that, you got to be able to think differently. To think differently, you have to be able to receive that you're wrong. To receive that you're wrong, you have to be able to be humble. All right? You have to think differently within the mind of Yahweh Shai Shai and cut out the flesh of what you perceive what is right. If it's not matching up, that's ultimately that. And receiving the instruction. All right? And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believeth in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come. Right, right, because of the prophecies and judgments. The prophecies, judgments, and prophecies. All right. The certain people have to go through a certain thing for us to get through to the next one, to the next level. This cycle. All right. This age has to be gotten over because things have to happen. All right. That's the breakdown. But woe to the man by whom the offense cometh. All right. That's why you gotta fight to be not offended is one thing, but hey, to be offended isn't wrong. But to be humble and pray that Yahweh Shai Shai is dealing with you on how you receive this information. Does it match up to the scriptures? All right. Aside from that, while you're receiving this weird, but yeah, ultimately, does it match up to the scriptures? All right. And then the discrepancy of how you would debate that is within that. All right. Not outside of it. Because if it's outside of it, then you already know it's off. All right. But this is a part of the patience that we're keeping. Right. This is a part of not offending the Most High or being offended. All right. But I'm gonna go ahead get ready to end this off, man. Um, they're coming with it. They're trying to take away the peace and all right, I guess your peace of mind in this place ultimately. Because right now we're already down to the you can't own shit. All right, it's cool. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and then it's gonna be dashed down from there. People are starting to feel like they have no freedoms. Like right now, it's a Bears game going on. This is the only delight these Chicagoans have right now. All right, that's a great distraction, and it has to be scripted because they've been winning too much. These guys suck. But it's been a great distraction for one of these most horrible cities that doesn't have troops on the ground right now. But guess what? If it was the next month, that'll be the perfect disguise. Hey, I was speaking because hey, the Most High is coming with it through this devil, man. Well, we have to be on the watch. Stay on your watch, brothers. So with that. Gonna end this lesson off and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Shalom, and above all.